and they are saying no. So I wanted to quit, for sure. And this fellow talked me into doing it again. And it was, again, all no's. I definitely wanted to quit. And then he said, no, try one more night. So I went out, and then I had good success. And then I actually stayed for 1 year, made lots of money, and then financed my whole law school education by that 1 year selling books. But it wasn't just selling books, right? It was really a very special moment in my life because I learned so much about the real world as opposed to academic.
A la hora de, pasamos el capítulo, digamos, de la escuela de abogados, ¿en qué momento ya empieza con la idea de hacer negocios, de entrar al mundo de negocios? Y teniendo, pues sí, cierto, una preparación que nos comentaba, pero da miedo porque a lo mejor es el negocio de alguien más, ¿no?
It really is. It really is. To start your own business is one of the most difficult things on this planet. But my goal was not to just make a lot of money. My goal was a really big one. It was to be financially independent. Financially independent. That's a different concept from making a lot of money.
Sí.
So, and the only way to do that, I learned, was to own your own business and make it successful. But that's a tough thing to do when you don't have money. and you don't have, you know, I can remember going to the bank saying, I don't know much about business and I've only got $50,000, but I want to borrow $3 million from you. And they look at me like, are you crazy? Are you crazy? So it is scary, but you know, if you have a goal and you're so determined to do it, nothing stops you. But it's scary. I tell people, when you work for a corporation, when you're working an employee, there's an umbrella over your head,
Sí.
right? And it makes you feel more secure and more safe. When you go on your own with a business, there is no umbrella.
Claro.
There's nothing that will protect you. Nothing. It's up to you. So it's a big challenge, but it's a big reward, maybe, right?
Ese es el punto. Y creo que muchos de los que emprenden, de los que inician negocios, tratamos como de clasificar algunos miedos para compartírselos a usted y que nos diga qué se hace con esos miedos. Por ejemplo, renunciar a lo bueno. Puede ser que estemos en un empleo donde tenemos esa sombrilla justamente y nos sintamos cómodos. Da miedo soltar esa comodidad para empezar algo que es incierto al 100%. ¿Cómo se maneja?
Yeah, there's no simple answer, huh?
Okay.
No, you know, people say, what's the magic?
Sí, exacto.
There is no magic. But I've learned some things. One of the things, we all have bad days. I hope this is a good day for you.
It is.
Okay,
it is.
too. And we have good days. But what happens when you don't have a good day? What do you do? And how do you pick yourself up? So it all begins here. It all begins in the brain. But I also find people help you. You know, who you associate with. So one of the things I say when you're scared or you're not feeling so well is talk with people, spend time with people who give you energy, right? You have great energy. This is it's natural for you to be positive and to be energetic. And so I'm sure people who spend time with you, they go, wow. The manager, when I was introduced just before we met, he said, you will love Tuti, you will love her. She's got, and yes, because you have great energy. So one of the things that people should do, they should spend time with people who have great energy. And don't spend time with people who have negative energy, right? Because there's a lot of people out there, you can't do this.
Sí.
You'll never be this successful. Or why are you going to there? You know, you hear it all the time. You have to block that out.
¿Cómo se maneja el cargo de conciencia por estar soltando o sacrificando cosas que nos importan? La familia, los amigos, dinero que le puede servir a mi vida.
Yeah. You mean, why do you sacrifice?
No, ¿cómo lo maneja?
Oh, yeah. Well, you're balancing life, right? I mean, and there's no perfect balance. I tell people, I tell you when you're going to be perfectly balanced. When you're dead. Perfect balance.
No.
Okay,
Sí.
so before that, you're always just trying to get that equilibrium. And there's never the moment in time when it's equal. Okay? There's always the time when, oh, I should be spending more time with my daughters. Oh, I should be spending more time. Oh, my husband is annoyed with me. Oh, I've got to go shopping, but I have got to go do something. You know, the conflicts all the time.
Sí.
There's no simple solution, but you just try to be respectful of everyone you're associating with. And it leaves a little bit less time for you. So then there's some things that you can do, for me, for example, that I find that are really helpful to try to keep me balanced. Exercise is one. I exercise almost every day. I eat well. I try to stay in balance with my food. And then I do some meditation. Dr. Deepak Chopra,
Sí.
you know, is a partner with us.
Sí.
He endorses our products. And I've learned, you know, some things from him about meditation.
Yoga.
Yoga. Yeah, exactly. So that's part of just how to do it, I think.
¿Y cómo manejar el miedo, que creo que siempre existe, al fracaso? Es uno de los grandes miedos que todos tenemos.
Yeah. It is. The fear of failure, which we all have.
¿Todavía lo siente usted a veces? ¿O ya no?
Not really. Not so much fear. Concern. Like, why aren't we doing better? ¿Qué pasa? What's happening? Why isn't this going better? But, you know, I'm now been in business for so many years, and there's so many crises I've been through. I tell people I've been on the highest mountaintops, but also the deepest valleys. So now I'm a little bit more comfortable about, you know, those circumstances, and it doesn't trouble me anymore, or as much anymore. I'm not scared. I just know, having the experience I have, and a certain amount of what I'll call wisdom,
Sí.
see, that I know I can get through it. And I know the other thing about me is I will focus my intentions and efforts until those things are resolved. And I have confidence in the outcome. I know what the outcome will be. It may be frustrating in the meantime, but I know what the outcome will be.
Escuché una frase sobre el optimismo y dice que el optimista es el que entiende que las circunstancias que no le gustan de afuera pueden cambiar gracias a sus acciones y a lo que él va sembrando en ellas. Tengo que irme a la pausa comercial rápidamente. Bill Farley está con nosotros en Un Show con Tuti. Volvemos después. Estamos de vuelta en Un Show con Tuti. Bill Farley hoy con nosotros. Gracias una vez más por acompañarnos. Es un gusto poder platicar una hora entera y sé que es poco tiempo para poder absorber todo lo que nos gustaría hacerlo con usted. Gracias por estar aquí.
Great to be here. Great to be here.
Nosotros, bueno, yo lo estoy disfrutando mucho y estoy aprendiendo, así que gracias. Pregunta, ¿cómo se sabe la pregunta, si un negocio va a ser exitoso? ¿Se siente algo? ¿Uno tiene que tener claro algo, aunque la perspectiva no sea la mejor?
Yeah. When I bought Fruit of the Loom, which was in the 1980s, right? I was fairly young, and it was a big deal. I paid 1.6 billion US dollars, and we had like 30,000 employees. I had never managed a business that big before. And in one sense, it was a big bet and a big risk. But I knew the management of the company, and they had a great brand and very famous in the United States. And I thought, of course I can make this successful, more successful. So I had a lot of confidence at that time. And that one turned out well. How do you know? You don't always know. I've made mistakes. I mean, that's life. You can't do everything perfect. And so sometimes when you made a mistake, it's traumatic. That's when you get, ooh, this is not so good. But I was able to, over the years, resolve some of the problems, and I've had more successes than the failures, or than what I call learning experiences. I don't call them failures.
Okay.
I call them learning experiences. Some were very serious learning experiences. But I think I know enough about business, I studied enough about business that you do have a pretty good sense, you know, of industries. For example, you know, the broadcasting industry has historically been very successful.
Sí.
And if you were able to buy a TV station or so, you know, you probably had a pretty good confidence level it would work out. There's certain other businesses, you know, if you were able to buy a railroad in the United States, it's established. If you're able to buy a brand like Fruit of the Loom, American Icon,
Sí.
you know, it's probably going to be successful. So that's it. I mean, there are characteristics. If you understand business, there are characteristics of a business when you review and do your analysis that gives you confidence to make the risk.
Lo interesante de su historia también es que a partir de este objetivo, este sueño que se trazó en la vida de ser económicamente independiente, surgió la posibilidad de inspirar gente también. No es solamente la admiración que se le tiene por lo acertado en sus grandes negociaciones y empresas, sino también por su vida. ¿Pensó alguna vez que eso iba también a ser parte del negocio?
Not exactly, you know, but because of we discussed my earlier background with my father working hard and my mother working hard, and I've always had a great respect for working people. So, for example, if we're driving down the road, Guatemala City, San Jose, San Pedro Sula, and someone's selling fruit, I really respect what they are doing.
Claro.
When I have bought companies, one of the first things I've always done is to paint and redo restrooms, baños, and cafeterias. And because why? Because the really working people, they should have, not just the executives, they should have very nice places to eat, restrooms, and so forth, right? So I think part of being a good manager, part of doing well is helping others, you know, and that's been one of my philosophies in life is to try to be helpful to others and be respectful. So treat other people as you would like to be treated.
Sí. Me gustaría hacer una pequeña actividad breve. Le quisiera mostrar fotografías de algunas personas y me encantaría que me explique, así como usted motiva a muchas personas a través de su vida, a través de lo que usted hace, de sus empresas y todos los emprendimientos, cómo estas personas lo han motivado a usted en la vida. ¿Sí? Vamos a ver la primera.
Oh.
La musa.
My wife. She is a great motivator. And, you know, there are very few people in life now that can tell me what to do.
She's one.
You know, I must be honest, right? Because most people go, oh, you know, the presidente, the owner, and they don't want to say anything that's sort of negative. So Shelley, my wife, will go, oh, I don't like the way you're dressing. Oh, no, that's way too casual. No, you should not appear like that. You should have a suit and tie on. Or, you know, I don't think what you said was very nice to somebody. I said, I didn't, but